Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. My name is Anesa. I am representing Mass Queens. We are reviewing the 99 names of Allah in this last 10 nights of Ramadan. I am going to focus on Al-Wahhab. Al-Wahhab means the bestower, the giver of gifts, right? So before I even move on to anything, I just want to say, as a Muslim, our greatest blessing is being given the opportunity to have come across Islam, to have been blessed with our hearts being open to Islam, to accepting the message, to being able to embrace it, right? So that itself is the biggest blessing, and we cannot thank Allah enough for it. Al-Wahhab is the bestower and the giver of gifts. So Allah is constantly, always answering our du'as, answering our prayers, and bestowing gifts upon us, favors upon us, and providing us with so much mercy, right? Allah doesn't expect anything in return, right? So He's always giving us blessings without us even feeling like we even deserve it sometimes, you know? I love to refer back to a part of an ayah in the Quran. It says, if you are grateful, I will increase you in favor. It's in Surah Ibrahim. Allah is saying, the more you acknowledge that you are receiving blessings and that you are being thankful, you're showing, expressing gratitude, and you're just, as a Muslim, thankful for what Allah has given you, He will give you more. So there's no limit to Allah's blessings and Allah's mercy. Allah says, ask me and I will respond to you. So when you're making dua, don't ever feel like, okay, I'm asking for too much. No, because Allah says, Aisha radiallahu anha said, ask Allah for everything. And even if it's a shoelace, even if it's a book for school, ask Allah. Don't feel embarrassed. Don't feel like you shouldn't be asking, because Allah says ask. You know, when a believer raises his hand in dua, Allah feels shy not to answer, not to give back when your hands are raised. So I just want to, the name Al-Wahhab occurs 3 times in the Quran, and it comes from the root Wahhaba, which means to give somebody something you own without even wanting anything in return. So that's Allah in this sense. Allah is giving us without feeling like there's any strings attached. He's not expecting us to do anything in return, right? Al-Wahhab gives and constantly continues to give us without us feeling like we even deserve it sometimes. It's purely from His generosity, right? So I'm going to refer to some of the prophets. Ibrahim alayhi salam said, all praise to Allah who has given Wahhab, gifted me with Ismail and Ishaq, even though I am old. Allah also tells Ibrahim, we gifted Ibrahim with Ishaq and Yaqub alayhi salam. Allah says we gifted Dawood with Sulaiman. Also Zakaria alayhi salam asked Allah, can you give me a gift of a son? So Allah says we gifted him Sulaiman. Alright, so don't feel ashamed. If you want to have a baby boy, you can pray for that dua. Allah doesn't say you can't. If you want to have a baby girl, go ahead, pray for that dua too. You can ask for a specific gender. There's nothing wrong with that. Allah even says to do so. You see in the Prophet, peace be upon him, in time, they would ask for that, and Allah would answer their dua. Don't ever feel limited. Jibreel alayhi salam said to Maryam, I am the messenger, so Allah will gift you with Isa alayhi salam. We should frequently make the dua, Rabbana hablana, O Lord, gift us, min azwajina wa duriyatina, till the end. Those who don't have children may use Wahhab to ask for, and those who already have children use it to bless their families. Okay. So Allah, by nature, is always giving, without us even asking, right? So Allah says, make dua, I will respond to you. When we make dua, Allah responds in 3 ways. Allah will either give you what you asked for right then and there, right? Allah might divert us from something we're asking for because it's not in our best interest, and He's probably saving us from a calamity, maybe even delaying it because it's not good for us right then and there, and He might give it to us later on. And the 3rd way, Allah grants us what we're asking for, and even better on the Day of Judgment and the hereafter, inshallah. So Aisha radiallahu anha said, ask Allah for everything. So like I said, even if it's a shoelace, even if it's a book, even if it's something where you feel like you shouldn't be asking, ask Allah for it, because Allah will not turn away your dua, right? We should use the name Al-Wahhab to ask for the greatest and highest of all things, because Al-Wahhab may open up doors, especially in our spiritual lives, in our spiritual aspect of our lives, in our family blessings. So don't feel limited. And I want to end off with Al-Imran Surah. Allah says, in the Quran it says, O Lord, let our hearts not deviate after you have guided us, and grant us from yourself mercy. Indeed, you are the bestower.